Once we've set up our company in QuickBooks, then we need to take a look at how to do customization for the company itself. So we'll get into the company and we'll say we want to wipe out the company contents to make as empty a shell as we possibly can. And then we will go ahead and do this wipe process, establishing the kind of business it is, which is pet care services. Roll down, find that guy down the list, and go ahead and select it. And later on, it'll ask us for something kind of like pet care services too. So go ahead and here, say, yep, that's exactly what I want to do. I want to wipe the contents of this. I want to go ahead and reset the company to as empty a shell as I possibly can. Wipe the data. Actually going to require me to type in yes, that I really do want to wipe the data here. I've done it. Then I'm set. I'm ready to go. And I have a company that's about as empty as I can get it. If I were to go inside here and take a look at the chart of accounts now, I'd find a pretty sparse chart of accounts. So I'm going to go into Accounts and Settings, go ahead and make sure it has the right company name, employer identification number, choose that I'm going to be a sole proprietorship, although that doesn't actually change the chart of accounts, and that my industry is pet care. So I type leading characters here for pet care, and it says, oh, that one, and I say, yes, that's the one I want. So then I go ahead and accept that, save, use my company setup information here, and my email, if I were to use it, it's going to say that. Company phone setup here. And if not there, then I'll go ahead and type it. And don't want to set up a website because QuickBooks doesn't accept false website addresses. So I'm going to save these settings here. Now I'm in pretty good shape so far. So I'm going to move on to my next step, which is setting up the company's address and picking up some of the information that I want to do in terms of whether I want Intuit to do marketing with me or not. So go ahead and put in the company's street address, state, which I believe will be used for purposes of figuring out the sales tax when we do turn it on later. Zip code, that'll tell me the vicinity I'm in, whether I have any city tax, sometimes city or county tax, something like that. Then I want to, while I'm here, check out the marketing preferences. And I'd really like to turn all these things off. And if I go ahead and do this, then the next step will tell me I've got to go ahead and give them lots of information. And so you can do that if you want. I'll leave that up to you. So I'm going to go next to sales. And under sales, I have some mods to do. I want my invoice terms to be set up for net 30 and discount if we paid early. Save that. And then also I think we're going to want to turn on the discount and get rid of that show aging at the bottom of the statement. And I have a little problem here with the expenses billable. So I'm going to go ahead though and turn off the charge sales tax. Pick the net 30 days for my bills and expenses terms. Save up on that. And for purchase orders, I want to turn that on because I'd like to request the stuff I want to purchase in writing. Now, for some reason, my company that I set up didn't have a discounts given. So I'm looking at the test drive company right now to see what that discounts given account is. And it's an income type account. If that's not present in your company, it looks like the setting, page 62, say it's supposed to have a discounts given account connected with the discount function. So make sure you have that in there and it's an income type account if it's not present there for you already. So given that, then I want to go ahead here, check my products and services, see that I not products and service, my beach markers, and see that I have the files that I need to do imports. So what am I going to do an import on now? Go back here to my download page or resources and get my import file. And at this point, I'm going to just import my vendors. My customers. And with them, I'll go look for the file. See that my mapping worked out okay. As a prelude to doing the actual import. Click on next to go ahead and do the import. See what it is I'm going to import here. You can see it's set up nicely as a database with field titles across the top. And these are my customers. Go ahead and execute the import. Looks good. 16 customers. That's a good check figure for me. And then after doing the actual import successfully, I need to go in and do some modifications. So the first one I'm going to modify is go inside there, get into my customers, pick out Dory Anderson, select to edit her, and then go ahead and I don't want her check to say Anderson, Dory, so I uncheck that. I want it to say Dory Anderson. And then I also want her payment and billing to be typically check. And terms are for her, unless I say otherwise, net 30. Save that. And then I need to do that for every single guy along my list here. So I save Dory, pull up my list here, my little sidebar. See all the other guys that I have. Go for Larry Bailey now. Going to do the same thing for Larry. I'll go ahead and edit him and uncheck use display name. Go ahead and set him up for a check as preferred. So that's what I'll get unless I say otherwise. Also net 30, save him. And as you can see, I got several more guys to do. So I have to do everybody the exact same way so that they're all handled uniformly. Check it out. Print this guy to PDF. I have a choice of either saving it as a PDF or printing to PDF. I'm going to go ahead and give it a good title here and save it in my location. Move on to vendors. Here's what vendors looks like. If we get back to the home A1, you can see there's a name there as if it's first and last name, and then there's a company name. So that's got to be fixed after the people come in. It needs to be imported this way, and then we have to edit each vendor and get rid of that first name. Otherwise, it'll come up goofy on their check. So import the data, grab the vendor file, not two, but the regular vendors list. Pull it in. Check here first for the data mapping. Make sure it's coming out good. Everything's all nice green checks. Click OK. Looks good. I got about 17 guys coming in. Notice I have name there at the beginning, but I just got to take what's in the file for now and then edit it after. 17 vendors. Get into my vendors here. See my list coming up. I could go there or the gear. And then I'll pick on Beach Bank. And I'm going to go do edit on them. Just like I did with Dory. Get rid of first name and last name because we just wanted to display Beach Bank, not both. And then we also want to go in and set up their terms of net 30. And that's pretty much all we got to do for these guys at this point. So we'll go ahead and save on it. And Beach Bank's fixed. Then I have to go back to my list, pull it up again, just like I did customers, Bow Wow Supplies. Go ahead and get rid of Bow Wow and Supplies for first and last name because that's goofy. and then go ahead and pick net 30, save this guy, just like I did the others, and go down through my whole list here and do the same thing for everybody. Notice if I went to K9 Supplies, I would have seen a beginning balance for them. So I've got to do that for everyone, not just the first two guys. If I want to print the job to PDF, you've seen that before. If I want to go to Excel, different story. Let's go to PDF. I can change. I can say save as PDF. I can print to Qt PDF. If it doesn't allow save as PDF, then I print, quote unquote, to PDF. Print this guy, give it a good name, save it in a location where I can get it again. It's by all my other Chapter 2 files. Save it. It's my PDF. And then I got to go in. If I wanted to, I could do the same thing with Excel. So any report kind of you can do this with. Go for Excel, export to Excel. If I select the entire sheet and say I don't want to wrap anything, first I got to enable editing. Select the entire sheet in that top left corner, say I don't want to do text wrapping, and then grab all my columns by clicking on their letters and then double clicking the border. It gets to the width of the widest thing in any column. Select the range I want to print. Say, yeah, I'd like to, you can clear it or set, either way. It tends to try to pick it for you. If not, set it for landscape. And then say I want to fit the columns to one page in this case. If I had a real long report, I'd get rid of that page height, tall, and let it go to whatever it needed to. Do a preview here. Ooh, looks kind of small. Let me show my margins here. The little icon on the bottom right. Widen it up. Make it, about as wide as I can get it so that everything comes out at least a little bit bigger. And you can see if I make it narrower, it comes out smaller. If I make it bigger, then it comes out wider, then it comes out bigger. Click print. In this case, I don't need to print because I'm just saving the file, but I can print it later real easily once I've done this setup. File, save as, give it the appropriate name and save it in the proper folder. And save. That's my Excel version. You can do both if you want, or one, doesn't matter. If you want to work with it later, Excel's much easier.